Hey everybody, JB back once again with yet another episode of Let's Play Chips Challenge. And in this episode, we're going to be tackling quite a few different levels of mixed length. This one's pretty short, but it is somewhat notorious, and I'll explain why in a minute. Now, as you can see, we're not exactly visible right now because the title is covering us up, but we are directly in the center, at the very bottom, minus that wall of this area. And what we want to do here is we want to get out of the way really fast, let that ball go, and then now we're just going to go through the circuit of teleports. And we missed that red key there, but we will get it over here. There we go. And basically what you're doing here is it's kind of like Blink. Well, not exactly, but it's like Blink in the sense that there are two different circuits of teleports for each direction, you know, north, south, and east, west. And you're supposed to collect all the items in each circuit. Now, there are 4 chips left, and there is a reason for that, because they're all out here. Now, what you want to watch out for in that entire teleport maze that we went through is that the balls are going through it, and they get blocked by the chips, unlike you, where you can collect the chips. So you want to be careful, because when you're removing the chips, you may be affecting where not the blobs are what we're facing right now, but the balls, you may be affecting where they're exiting a teleport. So just be mindful of that, and you should be alright. Now here we're having to dodge some blobs. And the notorious thing about this level that I was mentioning earlier, it has to do with a glitch that's almost required to be used to achieve the bold time on this level. It essentially, my goodness, I am mixing up words today. Balls, blobs, essentially. It essentially involves using the mouse to skip teleports when a monster is going through them, in this case the balls. And yeah, it's very difficult to use just because it involves some really precise timing. And frankly, if you're not trying to go for the bold time, I would not recommend using it just because it is that difficult to master. In fact, the initial record holder for this level was using his foot to press the mouse button down. And that was quite an achievement, I think. But anyway, it just goes to show just how obsessed some people are with getting the records on these levels. Now, the reason why I said it's almost required to get the bold time is because it might be possible to use a blob to press that green button down, but no one has done that, so no one really knows for sure. Anyhow, enough about that. We're going to move on to the next level, which is called All Full. And the funny thing about this level is it's actually quite busted in the Microsoft version. I'll show you the intended solution so you can see what's going on. Here at the beginning, we want to get over there, but these balls are blocking our progress. And so what we want to do is press that clone button so this clone machine doesn't spew, or rather, this clone machine spews out another ball and blocks this entire column. So that button doesn't get pressed anymore. Now we can go over here. So the title All Full probably comes from that. But anyway, we go into this room, and here's where things get rather interesting. You can see that there's a bug cloner that's located to our left. And this bug cloner would be cloning bugs. Okay, that's kind of obvious. But it normally should be doing this at a constant rate, but it doesn't because of the controller glitch in this level. And because of this, we wouldn't be able to get those boots normally. Now, I do realize we can do that right now, but you're not supposed to. So I'm not going to do it the busted way. I'm going to do this the intended way. And the intended way involves going around here without fire boots or suction boots and avoiding these fireballs and fire. So just get all the chips here, then get these ones, and you want to cut into this area with this ball. But once again, you don't want to go over to that bug area. Now, I didn't point this out earlier, but there's a water space there, and that's where they all drown. But they're cloning at such a constant rate that you can't get all the items. And you'll see what's cloning them in a second. So anyway, go down here and get to this area. Now, I know we can go up there and get that pair of flippers, but in the original Link's mode, you can't push blocks over boots, or, for that matter, yellow or green keys. So I'm not going to do it the busted way. Once again, I'm going to go in here. Now, there's another bug I wanted you guys to know about, and not a bug necessarily, but just Link's behavior that's just kind of really weird that doesn't show up here. In Link's, when things drown, I mentioned earlier, I think it was in Sampler, that when monsters drown and you're in the same water tile as they are, then you'll get killed too, for some odd reason. But in Microsoft, this doesn't happen. Now, in Link's, though, there is something else, though, where if something drowns, or something splashes rather, or if something explodes, like you're pushing a block into a bomb, or something just detonates a bomb, or something like that, there's a little bit of a delay, 3/5 of a second, there's an animation that plays, and you can't move into that square because of that. So for that reason, even if you had flippers and links, you could not get that yellow key down there. I don't think you can because of that. And by the time that animation ends, you wouldn't be able to make it back here safely without being pummeled by the next wave of fireballs. So, the solution here, as we can see that there's a clone button up there, and that's controlling the bugs, and there's a clone button down there at the bottom, and that's controlling the fireball cloner in the lower left. So what we want to do is use this button, like I'm doing right now, to clone fireballs into this room to make it all full as well. And frankly, I find this solution to be a lot of fun. I'm really sad that this level is busted in Microsoft, because I honestly think it's really cool on so many levels. And you kind of have to be patient here, because you don't want a fireball to bounce off that second force floor if another fireball happens to be stuck on there and then hit that green button. So be very cautious about this, because you don't want that wall that's right below us to close permanently. So as long as you're just careful about this, you should be a-okay. And right now there's 2 fireballs here, so if I press that button, it's going to be all over. Now there's only 1, so that's good. Alright, just wait for it. Well, I can clone another. There you go. Okay, I think that's it. So let's just clone 1 more to be safe. Okay, now we can't clone anymore. So now we can go through here and get all these items. And we can also get this chip back here, as well as a yellow key that we missed over here. And finally, and I'm not exactly sure what the point of that pop-up wall there was, but finally we can also get the yellow key in the lower left. So yeah, all in all, this level is not too hard. You just have to know what you can and can't do. And like I said, you can complete this the really quick and easy way, but I decided not to do that. Now, one thing I am kind of puzzled about, I'm not exactly sure what the deal is with this, but there are, I believe, 3 extra chips in this level. And I'm not exactly sure if that was intended or not, but I'm wondering if in Lynx you weren't supposed to get the chips in the fireball cloning room. And if not getting them would have made the solution possible, or if getting them would have made it impossible, or something like that. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what's up with that. But I did get all the chips, and thankfully in Microsoft you can fill up that room and get away with it while getting the chips, so I'm not exactly sure what's up with that. But in this room, just collect all the chips you need to collect and get back to this area, where then you can head back into the exits, which is not too hard to find. It's over here. Oh wow, there's more than 3 extra chips. Okay. No, wait, there are 3 extra chips. Okay, never mind. Alright, never mind that, folks. We can now move on to Lobster Trap, which is quite a simple level. Now, what this level has you believe is that there's a bunch of bugs and a bunch of gliders, and what this level has you believe is that you're supposed to lead them all around the level and into an area where they won't bother you. But thankfully, there's a really quick and easy way to do this. You can just clear some dirt here like that, and you have to clear it exactly that way, by the way. Then just sneak in here, and there will be gliders, as you can see, but thankfully everything will happen like that, so you can just sneak right into the exit. So that's not terribly difficult, thankfully. And now we can move on to Ice Cube, which is level 130. And this level, oh my goodness, I was having a practice run for this video, and this level took me about 20 minutes to complete just because I got so lost. I'm hoping that will not happen here, but if it does, then I'll just skip to the end when I find the missing chips, because this is kind of like I mentioned with Rink. This is one of those levels where you can find a bunch of chips, then you get stuck on the very last one. Yeah, and of course you got all these dead ends, like that one I just hit back there, to worry about. So, but the main thing that you have to keep in mind is that all these blank squares that we're going across are squares that formerly had chips. So whenever you run across a blank square, I believe that means you've already been there. I don't think these were empty when we first got here. I think these were occupied by chips. I might be wrong on that, but I think these were occupied by chips. Yeah. So yeah, just find your way around. There's various exits around the level, and you can go to another area if you need to, or if you're just getting tired of a certain area. And Thankfully, you can get to all of the parts of this level without doing that, but just beware, there's a bug circling the level, which I think we saw about 15 seconds ago. And we keep returning back there. Okay, I'm almost going to guarantee you guys, once this is over, we're probably going to have trouble getting back there. Okay, here we go. We can get these kind of a little slower with collecting the chips this time around. Of course, it is 1:43 in the morning as I record this, and, well, maybe not quite exactly, because it is daylight savings time night as I'm recording this, and this probably won't get posted for a little while, but we are changing our clock tonight, so I guess it technically is 12:43. Alright, we're doing pretty well here. We're just going around collecting chips. And in case some people have some, or who are watching have some really bright imaginations when it comes to designing, yes, there already has been a mod of this level, and it did involve placing a bunch of pop-up walls around the edge of the level, so you could only use the exits a limited number of times. And yes, it was pretty mean. Thankfully, if you never use the exits, it's not quite as bad. But so you don't always necessarily know that you're heading for an exit, so that's what makes it hard. Alright, here's an area we haven't been to yet. We can't go there. Let's go here. Good. We can get that. Let's see. How about... Okay, let's check to see if there's something else. Alright, what about here? Okay, good, good, good. We got some chips. Things are looking up here. This returns us there. Okay, so this is basically a big loop. What about this? Okay, good. Okay, these two chips I just collected, these were the ones that I took such a horrible amount of time to find in the practice run. So thankfully we got those, and hopefully none of the other chips will be difficult. But for some reason, those two chips gave me the hardest time ever. I have no idea why. Alrighty dighty, let's see if we can find our way out of this area. Seems like we're just going in circles here. Okay, this might get us out, right? Okay, good, 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 good. This, we haven't been here. Okay, yes. Okay, good. This, have we been there? Yes, okay. Let's go back to that spot. See if there's something else we haven't found. Okay, we've been there. Okay, so there seems to be a heavy concentration of chips on the right side. So let's see if we can find ways to access these chips, and hopefully we'll be home free. This is not doing us very much good. Okay, more dead ends. Alright, come on, JB. You gotta find this exit before time runs out in this video. There we go. Okay, we got one chip. Okay, this is good. Okay, that leads to an exit. Good thing we're not running into bugs at these exits, because that would be really unfortunate. Okay, I'm gonna go back to that chip we just collected, because I want to see if there's any other paths that we haven't taken. Did we take this to get there? Okay, that just leads there. That leads... Okay, that leads down there. There's so many loops and paths, multiple paths that lead to the same area that it's just kind of hard to keep track of it all here. So it is very difficult to approach this in a really systematic fashion. And there's that. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to enter through a different area. This is kind of a nice feature of this level, is that you can do that. Okay, I'm guessing that probably didn't even do us any good, but maybe it did, I don't know. Yeah, because we were just here a minute ago, right? Oh wait, maybe not. This is something different. Okay, does this go anywhere? Oh, that just goes there. Alright. We're just going in circles. Okay, this is not going well. Alright. Alright guys, I'll tell you what, I'll be back in a sec. Alright guys, I finally found the last two chips, and looks like history repeats itself. It took me a long time. So now, it's just a matter of finding my way back to the exit, which thankfully I was able to do right there. And now the bug's chasing me. We gotta run away. Okay, we're almost done guys, we're almost through. And yes, we are the victors. We survived the ice cube. So what have we got here? I've made it this far, Chip thinks. Totally fair with my mega brain. Then he starts the next maze. Totally unfair, he yelps.